Alright guys, interval notations. This is also an extension of the real number system. We are still in the real number system series. So interval notation. Now what is interval notation? Interval notation shows the boundaries of a function. It shows where it should get to, where it should start from, where it should end. It's just like a limit, like a boundary. And it shows the boundary of a function. It tells us the extent which we can operate, right? Which we can carry on with our mathematical operation. Now we have types of interval that you need to know. We have open interval, we have a closed interval, we have half open, half closed. We have close, we have open, close, and we have open. Alright, so types of interval notation. So don't forget that interval is it shows the boundary of a function, right? Just like a limit. Alright, so types of notation, interval notation. We have open, we have the open interval. Quickly, so let's just get the concept of open interval. Maths is very interesting. Anyways, this denotes the upper and the low. This denotes that the upper and the lower boundaries are not included in the set. That's open interval. It denotes that the upper and lower boundaries are not, the upper and lower bounds are not included in the set. For example, if you have something like this if you have S such that A is less than X and less than B, A and B will not be in the set. Never. A and B will not be in the set. Let me give you an example so this can make sense. If I have, let's have an example. If I have something like this, 5 less than X and less than 10. If I want to write the set of all these guys, I will have what? I will have 6, 7, 8, and 9. Because if 5 can be less than X, that means X is greater than 5. Okay? That means 5 is not there, 10 is not there. So for open interval, the upper and the lower boundaries are not included in the set of are not included as a member of the set. Okay. Another example, if I have -3 less than X less than 2, some people think, how did I get this 6? Okay, let me just give you an explanation. This one here, look at it too. This one here, I can still write it as X greater than -3, isn't it? Just changing it. So if X is greater than -3, what are the numbers greater than -3? That's -2, -1, 0, 1. Don't forget it's less than 2, so it's not up to 2. So this will be the set here. You see that -3 and 2, they are not included. So this is an open interval, typical open interval. Do you get that now? So an open interval is that the upper and the lower bounds are not included in the set. Alright, and the type of bracket we use for open interval, we use this type of bracket. Like a curved bracket, right? So in this, when you're using your bracket, you have to be very careful in this interval. Use this type of bracket. So if I want to represent this one now, I will write it in this way: A, B with this bracket. It means that A and B are not included in the set. Suppose I have something like this again. If I have X, set X such that X is what? S is less than 5. What does this mean? I have all the numbers less than 5. That means 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1 to infinity, right? To minus infinity. So I can write this as interval form, -infinity, because it's going to an infinity, and it's what? Starting from 5. Meanwhile, 5 is not included, so I can write it this way. Do you grab now? So that is how open interval is. Let's go to the second type, the closed interval. So I hope you understand this one. Closed interval. Very, very simple. Mathematics is a simple subject. So in as much you understand the concept. Okay, so open interval. Open interval is a type of interval where both the upper and the lower bounds are included in the set, just like the opposite of what we just finished doing. So if I have, and that one is denoted by this one. If I have A, what is this? X, set X such that A is less or equal to X and less or equals to B. Okay, this is an open interval. These are closed interval. That means both bounds are involved. Suppose you have 5 less or equals to x less or equals to 10. It means that you are writing what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Can you see that 5 and 10? 5, this 5 here and 10 are both included. That is closed interval. So the upper bound and the lower bound are both included in the sets. And the type of bracket that we use in closed interval is this type of bracket. This type, like a block bracket. Okay, so if I want to write this one in interval form, I'll write it as what? 5, what? 10. So don't go and some people just go and be writing this one. No, don't go and write that one. No, you have to write this like this. Okay. Now, an interval can be half open or half closed. It can be half open. It can be half closed. What does that mean? If I have an example like this, let me clear this one so we can. If I have an example like this, an half open and half closed type. If I have x, set x such that a is less than x, less or equals to b. This is half open, half closed, right? This means that I can write this like this: a, what? B with this bracket. A will not be included in the set because there's no equal sign here. That's how I usually do there's no equal sign, but there's equal sign for B, so B will be included. Suppose you have something like this: 5 less than x less or equals to 7. What would this be? You are starting from what? 6 and 7. That will be the set, right? This will be the set. So how will you write this? You are going to write it like this: 5, 7 with this type of bracket. Very, very simple. Now let's take an example to buttress this type of interval and how to represent your question, the answer to your question in interval form. Suppose you are given a question like this: 3x minus 5, okay? 3x minus 5 less than 6 minus 2x. I taught this inequality that if you want to solve and you are having variables on both ends, you can actually make sure that the bigger one is on the left hand side, and definitely 3 is bigger than minus 2, so we don't need to change anything in this case. So add 2 to both sides. I'll have 3x plus 2. Then add 5 to both sides. I have 6 plus 5. Okay, so that will be 2x actually. So this is 5x less than 11. Alright, so that will be what? X is less than 11 over 5. So how do you write this in interval form? Remember this stuff in secondary school? I would have written this like this. 11 over 5 is 2.5. I won't shake this, so don't forget. Remember this stuff now. In secondary school, it's good like this. Remember? Good like this. 2.5 because it's less than, it's going towards infinity. So it does not end. How do we write this in interval form? Because it does not involve 5, there's no equal sign here, and it's going to infinity, your interval form will be in this form. This bracket curve to infinity, comma, starting from what? 11 over 5. And you are also going to open it because it's not involving 11 over 5. So this is how to actually know about the interval. So in the next video, still in the series of real numbers, we're going to be seeing how I'm applying this into absolute value and other part of real number questions.